All right, around this time each school year, what we would typically do in the classroom is spend maybe 25, 30 minutes coming up to the front table and picking up the copy of the end of course assignment sheet. Those of you that are in English 10, I went back and looked at the blog, and I think it was October 1st and October 2nd was the day where you got the original copy of this sheet. And on that day, it was labeled very rough draft with 3 exclamation points. And the reason that's the case is because throughout the school year, the assignment constantly is revised to reflect our actual learning experiences. Now, obviously, this school year has brought us a really unique set of learning experiences. So the end of course assignment parameters have changed quite a bit. So what I want to do is I want to pretend we're in the classroom and I want to give an oral reading of the assignment sheet like I would if we were in the room. And what I want you to do as you're listening and following along with the assignment is try to wrap your mind around it. Make sure that it makes sense to you. If you have any questions, anything that's unclear to you, make note of those questions so that you can ask me those questions. Now, obviously, in the classroom, you could raise your hand and we could do a back and forth Q&A to clarify. We're not in the regular classroom, obviously. So what I'm going to encourage you to do is any question you have about the assignment, please email me as soon as you possibly can. Then what I'll do is I'll respond to the questions right in Google Classroom in our classroom stream so that everybody can benefit from the answer to the question. So without further ado, I'd like to present you with the English 10 and English 10 Honors End of Course Assignment 2020, which has been edited to reflect our current experiences. Make sure you understand the assignment, take note of any questions that you have, and maybe start to come up with some ideas of how you could approach the assignment. Here goes. The assignment and its purpose. You will share some of your life experiences as well as learnings from English 10 or English 10 Honors so that your current understanding of your why is clearer to yourself and your audience. In doing so, you are wrapping up and reflecting upon the school year, but you are also showing that you can meet the English 10 and English 10 Honors competency, identifying and using the most relevant information and evidence in order to thoroughly convey experiences and support a claim. I hope that you've been paying attention to Mr. D's every other day updates. He's been talking a lot about our shift to what's called competency-based learning, and you can see that shift that'll happen these next few weeks reflected in our assignment. Your audience, in other words, who are you creating this for? Your main audience member is your English 10 and English 10 Honors teacher, me, but there'll also be some other teachers looking at it. Those of you that have Dr. G in your classroom or Mrs. Ott in your classroom, they'll be seeing your work as well. Depending on what you decide to do to fulfill the requirements of this assignment, there might be different people watching a video, for example, that you've created. Maybe it's some of your classmates, family members. So main audience, your English teacher, but your audience is a little bit more than that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you the area of the sheet titled Your Task. Then what I'll do is I'll make a second video going through the section of the sheet titled Meeting the Competency. Each of these videos can only be 5 minutes in length, and I fear I'll run out of time. So here is, more specifically, your task. You are being asked to create something or engage in something that allows you to share one of your quick writes stemming from Paulo Coelho's The Alchemist, one of your whats from our time since we left Bulldog Boulevard, just a quick example for that one. What is something that you've been up to, that you've been doing consistently since our time that we left school? For me, I've been reading nonstop, no surprise there. But that is one of my whats during our time in quarantine, a lot of outside reading. So I'm asking you to share one of your whats in addition to one of your quick writes. The third item on this list, the most significant aspect of English 10 or English 10 Honors for you this school year. So what's the most significant learning experience, text read, classroom discussion, anything really that's happened in our time together in the classroom? What's been the most significant part of the class for you? And then last but not least, whatever you create or whatever you end up engaging in should allow you to share your current why and how each of the 3 items on the list, your quick write, your what, and your class component, help show your why. In parentheses on the sheet, you'll notice that I just listed all sorts of different ways you could approach this assignment. For example, this one right here. After putting some thought into this particular assignment, maybe jotting down some notes, if you wanted to, you could set up